What a pleasure to see
Hey,
you. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it.
of course.
It's rare that I immediately get along with a client like that.
Yeah, yeah. Like I wasn't exactly sure how things would have went when I first met you. I found you on Google Maps and whatnot, and I saw you had such stellar reviews. And so it was great to meet someone that was so kind, that could help me with what I needed with my computer. Yeah.
I appreciate that, man. No, that's crazy. And this is not an ad. You said that. I didn't pay you to say that.
No.
For sure, because you got to disclose some things nowadays. I'm still young in the social media training, but it's good to still start early with this stuff. Well, I'm
Mhm.
glad that Google Maps is working. Funny enough, I'm like listed in Yelp and Yellow Pages, and I try to put all the backlinks behind the scenes to like route it to Tech and a Tuck, so I have a more author. It's an authority score in Google, so you can like rank up, so people trust the business. Be like, oh, he's not actually ripping you off. This is all true, because
Oh,
nowadays, yeah, you can fake reviews and stuff.
yeah.
So
I yeah, no, I think your efforts worked because even I think when I was casually searching on Google for like computer repairs or whatnot in the area, I think you came up and I was like, oh, who's this? It's like, I was expecting to maybe have to go to a store or maybe some kind of like smaller establishment, like somewhere. But I found you and I was like, oh, this is really cool. It's like I never like thought that someone could do it like this where they could basically list their services from where they are, and you have like your links, your website, and like everything displayed going on. So I was like, oh, this seems like really legit. So I feel like this could potentially be like a new way for people to list services, whatever it may be. Yeah.
do you mean because I work from home? Or
Yeah, and that also, that I'd be able to like that you're fine with that too, right? Like, I think that's also really cool. You just like have people come straight to you, and you're just chilling at home where you have all your setup and everything already, all your tools,
yeah.
to be able to help your customers. So I think that's like really fantastic. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Well, a couple of comments towards that. Number one, Google didn't make it easy for me to make my establishment my home. They almost didn't put me on the map.
Whoa.
My mentor was super. Yeah, he's been super instrumental for taking the business from where it was at, really making $0 an hour to now making $5 an hour. And I'm just
Nice.
saying that
Oh.
like not giving you like accurate numbers, but it's like roughly like he's 5x the business for sure.
Oh
Um,
wow. Yeah.
Not enough right now. It's been like slow for the past since not before you probably. I've had like one other client for like a month, so it's not. I'm like, how do you bring in more clients? So that's the number one question that I have, because you would think I'd be busy if I'm not charging people for what I do. You would think,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
I'm like, there's a missing piece in the puzzle that I'm still trying to figure out. Google made it complicated at the beginning because against the terms and conditions, if I don't have a place that says Tech and a Tux on the
Yeah.
map, they go. So what is this? You can like for protecting my privacy and my the bylaws of Vancouver, because that's sort of they're sort of intertwined.
Yeah.
Um, that was quite the headache, but somehow my mentor figured out by reading like the terms and conditions or getting a lawyer to do it, and then
Uh,
fighting them on that and being like, no, actually, it says here that as long as they offer services or something like that. I don't remember
yeah.
exactly what it was, but that was cool. Yeah, I was pretty happy about that. And then the second thing that you mentioned was what did you mention, dude?
I don't remember either, but just from what you're saying, it's
Yeah.
great that it sounds like your mentor is like, he really cares about you and he actually wants to like see you succeed. So that's really awesome that he would like be able to offer you like, help you this way and then to be able to help you grow as well. That's really cool.
It's really rare, especially because
Yeah.
like I don't take paychecks. Like from the website design portion of it, from the behind like the where I'm supposed to be making money, I
Hmm.
haven't taken a paycheck yet because I incorporated in September. So I want to wait the full year and just take one dividend and go with it.
Yeah.
Because tech support can keep me alive if I have enough clients.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's just like getting the name out there is like the priority. He's definitely been instrumental. So he's managing more of the website development, the SEO portion, so you can rank up on Google, and
Yeah.
then I'm there to project manage side to side with him, with our 25 developers in like abroad, just because I rather provide opportunities there, and they do a lot of quality work, and if it's cheaper, I'm in.
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah.
Where the hell are the clients, man?
The only thing I could maybe
Yeah.
think of, like if I don't know if you're wanting advice
Sure.
or not even advice, but
Yeah.
like what I
100%.
like maybe just the first image I see when like we arrive on your establishment on Google Maps, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I believe the photo like the first photo you have is like with your logo and then it tells like the services you guys provide. Because that does give like an idea of like what the like a customer could want. Though I think it might like it looks like a little older, so
Sure.
there's potential there for you to maybe like make it look a little newer. That's just what I think.
Sure.
But I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it could be a good idea. I just wonder
yeah.
because he's very adamant about SEO and like keywords and
Oh,
there's sometimes it goes against terms and conditions, so you gotta know what you're posting.
oh, it's quite strict. Okay, yeah, I don't know then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, me neither. I'm learning all this. I don't have a business background, so it's all trial and error and see what happens.
Mm-hmm,
But oh, I remember the other point is me having myself like my house on the map for me with my clients. I'm like tries to build trust because I'm like, you know where I live. I'm not gonna take your shit and run away. Where am I gonna run away to?
mm-hmm,
Back to
mm-hmm.
my hometown in Colombia? I doubt it. For one computer,
Yeah.
so not worth it. So I try to live through like a glass house and build that genuine connection. Be like, you know where I live. You got nothing to worry about. You come back and get your computer, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Or and obviously it saves me on like an actual establishment and because I see a lot of places around me leasing and I'm like that's 5 to 50 grand a month depends where you're located.
Wow.
I'm like I can barely survive on donation and you expect me to open up a store to see if maybe I get clients and I'm like I think business owners takes too many risks. I rather take calculated risks that make more sense,
Yeah.
but with the purpose of like just give back. Fuck it, it will figure it out on its own. I am
Mm-hmm.
starting to get tight, and I'm like, I need more clients. But
Yeah.
um, I also believe in there's a higher power that we come from, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter if it's religion based, philosophy based. We all come from the same person. Call it whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
That whether it's law of attraction, whether it's you do good and good comes back to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I live by. But
Yeah.
enough about me, my friend. You tell me a little bit about your life story. I'd love to hear about your background, where you're from. You surprised me too with the Colombian part of it. I want if you want to share that part, feel free. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, I could delve a bit about that. Yeah, so I grew up here,
Hmm.
but my mom, she has like a twin sister, but she also has like a younger brother.
Okay.
And so that younger brother actually got married in Colombia. I believe, I don't remember the city. It's either the city you're from or
Medellin or
the
Bogota?
city that's no, sorry, yeah.
Bogota, the capital.
Yeah,
Medellin.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think he met his wife there. And so he moved there because my grandpa, uh, you know, I guess he wasn't the greatest dad, and he left my mom's family,
Damn.
and I think he had like another family in like Hong Kong or something, and then like he left there and like went to like South America. I guess he was like kind of like young and wild and free or whatever you call it.
Sure. Hmm.
And so he had a family there in Hong Kong, and then he moved to South America, and then he was just like, having fun in South America, and he brought my mom's younger brother over, and then that's where my uncle met his wife, who's also from China, and so they kind of built a life there, and like we're like the only Asian family there, I think that
Pretty
like,
much.
well, probably not the only Asian family, but that I think is probably one of
Yeah.
the only Asian families
Hmm.
that could speak like Chinese, but they spoke like fluent Spanish, so it was like really
Wow.
interesting. So I guess like
Do you
we
know
were
how
kind of
rare
like,
that is? I think I know one friend that I think he's no two people, two people out of who knows how many.
yeah,
I moved around a lot in Colombia, but so I got to
okay,
meet quite a bit of people, and there's probably two out of I'm gonna say 1,000, maybe 2,500. That it's like they're one's Japanese, the other one is from probably Vietnam, and
mm,
fluent Spanish, and it's so fucking strange how that works. Like,
ooh,
awesome! What a cool mix. It feels like there's
yeah,
rare shiny Pokemon around the map that they're rare
yeah,
to find.
okay, I like that.
But you were saying, sorry.
uh, yeah, no, that's it. So, that's how like, I was interested to hear that you also came from like, same country and like very close, if not the exact city. I kind of forgot because I haven't spoken to them in a while.
Hmm.
They're here actually, where we live. Uh, but yeah, really cool. When I first met them, like they like took Spanish class and they got like 100%. They're like, you know, So they know
They know their
Spanish.
stuff.
And then when I heard from you, you speak Spanish and you were from there too. I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like I know that place. I'm assuming when you tell some people, they're like, oh, like I don't really know where that is. Like, or what
Yeah,
language you guys speak there. Yeah.
50-50. And then so you grew up here, and then you were high school from where? And then where'd you graduate?
I went to high school in like East Side. Um, Maybe I shouldn't say where.
It's up to you.
But then,
Yeah.
yeah, I went to university and I studied like computer science. So now, like, I just basically work as a software developer. Had some troubles with my computer. I guess it's like a little ironic, you would think that like maybe if I know a bit about software, I would be able to. But I don't know. For some reason, when I just get into it, it's just like
Two
something
different
that's like
worlds.
harder to like figure out. I feel like there's like a level of expertise or skills that like I just don't work with every day. That makes me like not confident enough to be able to work with my like hardware PC.
Sure.
So that's why I was able to find you, and I found your skills and expertise. Yeah.
Please don't call me an expert. That put expectations in people's minds, and he's like, he knows what he's talking about. And then I come here and then like, hey, can you fix my custom loop PC? No, and then you get a bad review.
No,
So-
well, I guess there's levels to it, but
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
I also, because I don't have a formal education with this stuff, like it was just all trial and error and certificates and mentorships. So I don't. It's one of those things that, and it's also an ego thing because a lot of people go, I'm an expert. I'll show you how it is. I don't know.
Well, you know what I truly think? Like,
Tell me.
I feel like I've met some people like in school or university, wherever they've had an education, but even though they've had an education, they weren't really like actively like absorbing and learning the material to be good at what it is that they got their degree or whatever certificate is for. And I feel like, although it does indicate that like, you have that degree,
Yep.
it doesn't necessarily mean sometimes that person might have that skill, right? And so I feel like it wouldn't be fair to like, in the case that, if someone doesn't have that certificate, it doesn't mean that they can't have that skill. And I think for you, you definitely do have the skills and knowledge. So, not to sell
Sure.
yourself short or anything. You're great, dude.
That's
Don't
what
worry about it.
that's what my mentor says as well, and I'm like,
Yeah,
man.
it must be right. Like, because if you know what you're doing, I feel like it doesn't matter what kind of like certificate degree you have. As long as you're good at what you do.
But I'm always jealous, man. It's the envy that comes back. That I'm like, I wish especially business background. I wish I had one so I knew exactly what I was doing. But when you
Yeah.
grasp from different people, then you get confused, or it helps, or I don't know. Like I feel like back in the day, I had a controversial take because it was before, it was still tied into jealousy, but it's more. Back in the day, I was like, no, school's a scam. Why would I pay $60,000 to get myself in debt to maybe get a job? And I'm like, no, that's not how I feel. If you know exactly what you want to do and you're happy and you're content, go for it, buddy. And you have the wits to do it. For me, it didn't make sense. I have too much energy. I think I I mentioned that to you, that my mind performs at processor levels is like a 9800 X3D, like the newest one, but I'm bottlenecked by my mouth because I speak the two languages and I think in both languages, but then I can't even get my points across because it's ADHD related. I don't even know what it is, man, but it just, I have too much energy, so I can't sit still for that long, and I can't I'm not good at waking up early.
No.
It's and when you've been to too many schools, you're like, I'm good, I'm out. And when you even had, back in the day, had no idea what you wanted to do with your life, like, I'm just gonna learn on my own, work and see if I can develop myself and go from there. How was your experience? It makes all sense to you, and it just clicks?
No, initially in high school, I think I wanted to do business as well. But then like, I actually went into like economics. I tried economics for a bit. I actually didn't like it that much because I guess in high school I liked math a lot. Just because my mom had me do math and in high school a lot. And I guess I like felt a sense that like I felt smart when I was like being able to do good at math, because like you're doing calculations and stuff. It's like, oh yeah,
It's always impressive.
yeah, I guess so. I guess it's kind of like if you had a processor and it's like can do a lot of calculations. I guess maybe that's how I think about it or something.
Yeah.
And so that's how I eventually got into computer science and math, which is my degree, which is great. Math portion was quite difficult, so actually within first year, that's when I had to really think about like what I wanted to do career-wise, I suppose. And I thought that computer science would be like a quite stable degree that could provide me like opportunities where I could like find a job for myself and like be able to survive. Because I feel like what you're saying is right. I agree with you. Like, it doesn't really make sense if you're going to a degree and like you're spending like $60,000 and you're not even sure if that's what you want to do or like the prospects of it. And I do think a lot of people still do that though, because oftentimes you see people, they graduate and then they go to like different institutions to upskill more. And then you're spending even more money. It's like, but you could have potentially also just done that part after initially. So I do think some people make like quite rash decisions when they're trying to commit to like maybe a degree without thinking about, is this right for me? Like, what are my goals? Do I want a job? Do I want to like work in academia? Like, what is it that, you or I want? Kind of like that.
How did you find out what you wanted? I'm always curious with that.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe you could say that I was just thinking really hard about it and I thought that it was right for me and it worked out. So in a sense, you could say that I got lucky maybe. But I was thinking that also like I like math, and math was like great and all, but I was like, oh, but like what kind of jobs do like people with math kind of get? It was like maybe a lot less. Maybe at most it'd be like some kind of quantitative person, but then like even then, like how many openings are there and like when you have to be like the best of the best to like maybe get in. So there's like less room, for someone to
Sure.
break into that field. The other thing I thought of was that if you're doing a math group, maybe like something like insurance related or like what is it called? Like actuarial sciences or
No
something.
idea what that is.
Uh
It's above me.
yeah, it's just like statistics or something, I believe.
Sure.
Anyways. Yeah, and then like I was thinking about it, I was like, well, computer science has a lot of math. And so I was like, I enjoyed it, working with code a little bit. And
Question.
then yeah, go on.
Yeah, hardest math that you can think of. For me, it probably was derivatives, logarithms, anything in that sense that doesn't make sense. Polynomials.
Yeah, if we're talking about that actually, like I think when I was younger, like back when I was like 16, 17,
Hmm.
those are actually like pretty fun. Like,
Wow.
because yeah, that's like I felt like when I was younger, I could like actually do the calculations like quite quick.
Hmm.
But then like as I'm getting older, it's like I don't know, it's because my brain is like thinking about other things and I'm not focused enough. It's like
Sure.
it's really slow. But like I had some like higher level math courses where it's like more proof related. So it's like you're kind of just learning about definitions and like trying to use those definitions to like logically explain some things. And I felt like those got way more fun and it got better for me in the end.
Hmm.
So I feel like as you grow or as you age, like what you like maybe in math kind of changes. Yeah.
Good question for you. Based on your life experience so far, because for you, I, I guess I didn't. I'm not sure if I got the answer. Like, you just knew what you wanted to do, or you had to experiment and be like, yeah, this or that,
Uh,
or your parents
no,
was
you could
like,
say I experimented because
mm-hmm.
initially I went into my degree studying economics.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that like, this wasn't really for me since I wanted something a bit more like quantitative,
Mm-hmm.
because economics, I feel like they talk a lot about like theory and stuff, but maybe I wanted to like, do more calculations, like math related, or even like applications related, like coding related, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I like decided to really change. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. And then now on a scale 1 to 10, 10 being fulfilled, passionate, and happy, 1 being at nothing, where do you think you're at?
That's a good question. I would say, I guess like for what I wanted at the time, it's a solid like 8.5.
Hmm.
I expected myself to be able to like find a job after I graduated and whatnot. And I graduated like maybe like 2 years ago. So I'm pretty lucky on that front considering the economy in Canada at the moment. Um, but now it's like sometimes I feel like I'm like working the long hours and like maybe the interview process is also like not the best for this kind of career because like you kind of like it's kind of like you're in a circus and they're like putting you like through multiple rounds. Like so you hear some people they say like, oh, there's like 5 rounds of interviews and there's like it's like 2 or 3 rounds of like technical where you have to do these coding puzzles and then there's like behaviorals to make sure that like you kind of fit in with the company's culture. So it's like a lot of work and like preparation. And it's like everyone's doing it too. So it's like everyone's walking this path and it's like so competitive. And sometimes I think to myself, it's like is it really necessary for me to be like going competing with all these people to try to succeed? I wonder if like there's another way or a different like career slash job still within tech maybe
Sure.
that could be like, not like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm, yeah, you make me think quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because I always wonder, one of the purposes why I started AlyxTalks
Mhm.
is to showcase vulnerabilities, failures, the harder points of life, right? Because I think I
Yeah.
mentioned to you that most social media is just your best front,
Showing
your
off.
best, yeah, your best facade, your best, what's the term? How do you say that? I'm thinking in Spanish right now.
It's like your image or whatever,
Sure,
even
yeah.
though you're not like a celebrity. That's how I think about it.
Sure. And it's crazy
Yeah.
that like kids out of high school immediately like, okay, I'm just gonna become an influencer and see how it goes. Well, of course, you live a life of freedom, and if you do make it, you get sponsorship and merch, and you build a community. What a good time! Of course, people would want to do this. But
Mhm.
then there's also so much quiet quitting, and it's like, fuck, I hate my job, I hate this, I hate. And I've been through that, but
Ah.
I'm just trying to find peace now. A little bit of money would be great. I don't need
Mhm.
$500 million. Like $50 million would be great. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Probably just a little more peace and contentment with what I have, and to feel grounded where I'm at, then while I'm making a difference, because then I'm like, okay, I feel fulfilled, um, because I have been in that rat race of, you wake up early, you do this, then you got an HR department, then you do your accounting, you do your whatever it is, whatever task you're going through. Like for me, it was never, if I feel like I'm not growing as a person and I'm not giving back, then for me it was like a life not worth living, because I would not just take my life because of that, but or for any reason. It's
Mhm.
more just like I feel like if I'm not doing good, or I feel like I'm not doing good, or doing good with that aligns with my values, because I
Yeah.
feel like I'm an outlier, but not in like I'm a show off or I'm better than others way. I just feel like I was indoctrinated differently, mainly because of
Yeah.
this guy right here. I think I told you about Tony Robbins. If my camera will
No, is
follow
that
me.
a
There he is.
famous book?
Tony Robbins is
Oh,
my compass, my north star. The guy that taught me finance, business, relationships, mindset, health. And
really
he
cool.
goes and interviews like the smartest people in each of their field, but just simple, straight to the point. Um, Man, if you're ever interested, his documentary is. I'm not your guru. I'm not preaching or anything, but my goal is just like, if you're going through a hard time, I'm like, and you go listen to this guy, and what
Yeah.
he's been through, and the way that he's changed people's lives and everything.
Yeah.
I'm always in disbelief. I'm like, that's what I want to do. That's what gets me fueled. And it's mainly, as I told you, it's like, it's chatting with people. It's trying to get some golden nuggets out of each other. The tech
Yeah.
support is like a secondary thing. Hopefully pays the bills, but my passion is talking and networking. And be like, oh, you work there. Oh, okay, you know what? Can I can I use you for? Can we chat? Can we go out? Like, it's just building up that networking, because it's a lot of it is really who you know, but also how do you impact their lives. And I want to like make it with every single client. I make sure that I'm 100% on top of it,
Yeah.
120%, and build that lasting connection, because then your powerful review might see it, somebody else might see it, or
Yeah.
a beautiful referral. Be like, yeah, you know
Yeah.
what, I got a guy for you, because the Best Buy, they're a bunch of memers, so it's
No,
not that.
like
Yeah.
I told my friend about it. He was like, "Oh, like, because he was asking me like, how'd you fix it?" I was like, "Oh yeah, it wasn't actually me. I actually found this guy called like, Alex, and on Maps I found him, and he was like, oh, really cool." And then he was like reading about it, and he was like, "So like, I do think you're right though. Like, the word of mouth does get around." And another thing to like add on to your point earlier, like,
Sure.
I think like if it wasn't for monetary reasons, like, I think like jobs, I feel like are just jobs for a lot of people. I feel like originally when I wanted to like study what I want to do, it was
Mm-hmm.
like very like fun and like fresh. But maybe I'm just like older and a little bit jaded, And I
It
do
happens.
think that like, you know, the like what you're aspiring for, Alex, is like really cool and awesome, like with what you're trying to do. Because I don't know many people that like are doing it the way you do it. And I think that you're right. Like with the amount of like effort that you're putting in to be serving your customers, I feel like that would bring a lot of fulfillment from even for myself as well. If I had your skills. Yeah.
Do you think, if you can, it's sort of tied into your question, but if you What would be your ideal job? What would be something that would be like, okay, I'm 10 out of 10 happy, content, satisfied.
Mm,
Where would you be? What would you be doing?
that's tough. Um, that's a hard question.
Hmm.
Like, would I still have to worry about like bills and stuff? Like, how would that work?
Let's do both situations. First, yes. Second one, no.
First, yes. Second one, no. Okay, I still have to pay the bills. Oh man. Okay, then it's probably still my current job
Yeah,
because I feel
okay.
like relative to maybe some like I don't even know what I would change into, or like maybe something like tech related or computer related.
Sure.
It's like where it would be like if it was a physical job, it might be a bit hard on me, like once I get older. But at least with like my current job, like I guess it will like this is quite a long career, I believe. Hopefully, if I don't get replaced by AI.
Tell me about
Um,
it. Hmm.
yeah. And then okay, maybe I could think about like no if I don't have to worry about money.
Hmm.
I feel like yeah, maybe it'd be something like customer related, maybe, but it depends because I feel like I get along with like people like like when I met
Yeah,
you.
that's instantaneous.
Yeah, and like I feel like I'd be able to like interact with them right well, and it seems pretty fun. And like if it was a job that ends after like maybe like 6 hours of work or like somewhere around there, not like the whole day where I'm like totally drained and like I can't even like live my life after.
Hmm.
Like I feel like often days I'm like working so much that like you know that like I don't even have time to like relax or whatever.
Sure.
I'm not exactly sure if that's healthy. Probably not, but something with like a little bit shorter hours, just so that like then it feels like a more balanced life. You know what I mean?
To work to life balance, but you're not. It's not like you don't have like an ideal dream job that'd be like, if I could, I'd be doing this, and this for these reasons.
No, I haven't thought about that. That's
That's fine.
that's like a really good question though, because like I've actually never thought about that.
There's nothing wrong with that because sometimes
Yeah.
I realize when you do work, and when I worked for companies, and there's probably a handful that I was like, I never reached 10 out of 10 because there's your mind always goes now what, but
Hmm, hmm.
probably in the solid 9 out of 10 in happiness and contentment. Um, and in the tech field, like the other ones, I just like randomly like, okay, we'll make pizzas, we'll sell clothes, we'll sell watches, I'll do door to door sales.
Yeah.
If I don't put myself in those experiences, I don't know exactly what I want to do. It's just it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
No, like you earlier asked. Sorry, talk about myself a lot. Well, that's
No,
fine.
no problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like earlier, you asking me like, oh, how do I kind of also find into my career? Like I worked other jobs before. I forgot to mention that. Like
Which ones? Just curious.
yeah, yeah. In high school, near my high school, there was a supermarket. So I believe I was like 14 at the time. I was just working there as like grocery boy. You just like
Sure.
stock the shelves and like make it look pretty. They call
Yeah.
it facing, like you make it look nice and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that was my very first job. Actually, prior to that, I tried to become like some kind of like attendant at like like what's it called, the P&E
Okay.
Playland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to
Everybody
apply
works there.
there and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
So that was like my first experience with failure, and I was just like, yeah, I think that was like kind of ignited my passion to like find the first job I landed, which was a grocery job. Um, but in retrospect, like I guess it gave me an idea of what I want to do, though I don't know if it was like the most valuable use of time at that age. But that's okay. And then after that in university, like I did a bit of like tutoring I did tutoring at the center where I used to also go to tutoring for.
What are the chances? The 180. That
Yeah,
first year tutor, and then
yeah, yeah.
tutor somebody
And
else.
like,
That's cool.
yeah, let me tell you, the funny story is when I went in to hand in like my resume, like, hey, I'm interested in working here. By the way, I also used to be a student here.
Hmm.
Like the receptionist, she looked at me, was like, you used to be a student here? Are you sure you think you would be a right fit to be able to teach our students today? Yeah. And then I was like, I was a good student, trust me. Because
I
I'm
thought she
assuming
remembered
thinking
you.
that,
Okay. No.
yeah, that she probably found out like I wasn't that great of a student. So
Got
it
it.
makes me also wonder, like, I wonder if they reviewed like my past like tests or homework to see if
Probably.
just to see, make sure like, okay, yeah, I can see that, like, okay, throughout the end you were like doing pretty well, can't there? You know, so that's just a funny thing. But yeah, I did have those experiences before. I'm trying to think if I had any other ones. No, I think that was it. Yeah.
And if one of my top questions to ask, because I'm always interested in people's lives. That's another reason why I started this. Everybody's got their own story, their point of view, how they were raised, culture, upbringing, everything, and then how
Yeah.
mass media fucking molds you into what you are now.
Mhm.
Um, What's your top 3 to 5 top favorite things to do?
3 to 5. Okay. I would say that like when I do have time, I don't have to worry about like recharging. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but I used to like really like playing games. I still do. It's just like less time, and then like I don't know. If I do play for too long, I feel like I get tired really quickly. Like my stamina is like I don't know how like I've had some friends or even like I've seen streamers they play for like 8 hours straight as if it was like a full shift. I was
I
like,
can't do it
that's pretty
anymore.
crazy. Like
Yeah, I can't
I
do it.
can't do that actually. So like back then, like in high school, I used to play League a lot, and like I play for like 3 to 4 hours. But now that I think about it, like I feel like that's why like that's as much I guess I can play. If I play any longer, like
Mm-hmm.
for like performance related games, it's like I just know that like my performance will drop and stuff. Okay, and then
Hmm.
my next thing you said 3 to 5. My next
Yeah,
thing maybe currently be like working out. You know, it's like going to the gym is like really important to me.
100%.
Um, my friends are like into running, but then like also whenever I try to get into running, I get like kind of sick.
Oh, really?
I don't know if those are related. I don't know if it's because like I work out and then like I do a bit of cardio and then like my immune system is like weak because like I'm not sleeping enough maybe.
Sure.
So maybe it's that. And then my last thing would be let me think.
Gaming, gymming, and
It's probably eating.
yeah.
If you think about it, 2 out of the 3 of those things are like the basic necessities of what a human needs to do.
Sure.
Do some
I get it.
exercise,
Mm-hmm.
eating. Arguably you can include sleeping as well. But yeah,
I agree.
yeah, like sometimes when like I guess just when like, life is like maybe hard or like like feels stressful during the day, I'm like
Sure.
thinking about like oh what kind of meals could like kind of make me happy. That I look forward to that, and that brings me like joy. So I would say that yeah.
So then dive a little bit deeper. Top 3 meals. What do you like
Top
to
three
eat?
meals. Oh man, yesterday I had some KFC. That was pretty good.
Yummy.
Yeah, yeah. And then I feel like I also like sushi. Maybe
Sure.
sushi's pretty healthy. Um, and then maybe like Vietnamese food. I have that a lot. There's a lot of Vietnamese restaurants. Just
Mm-hmm.
arguably also just because they have coffee. I like coffee a lot.
Sure.
Yeah. How about you? What are your top 3 meals?
Meals probably. I go by restaurants, which then
Okay.
the food type itself. Number one, if they have the right chef in place and he's cooking it like it's a Michelin star meal.
Yeah.
There's this tandoori restaurant, Agra Tandoori, which is on Boundary and what's that cross street? You know where Charlie's Chocolate Factory is? I doubt it on the map.
Yes, I do. It's on Kingsway and Slocan, right? No, no,
Not
you're.
Kingsway,
I'm
Boundary.
sorry. You're right. Boundary. It's Boundary and like in between Canada Way or something.
Yeah, around there,
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
So a couple
Okay.
stores to the, if you're looking at Charlie's Chocolate Factory to the left, there's Subway, a couple others, and then Agra Tandoori, which
Yeah.
is holy crap, man! The top, literally, yeah, top 3 favorite foods. They make the excellent, fantastic veggie korma and chicken korma. Like, what's the one that I like? Not veggie korma. What's the traditional Indian Hindu meal? I don't know what the term is, but one of those, like, it's delicious, very properly spiced, fantastic.
Yeah.
And then the other one would probably be, I'm debating between Sushi On, which is probably my favorite sushi place, but in New Westminster, you gotta try that one out.
Okay.
Take the girl with you. Fantastic, clean,
Okay.
good people. Um,
Sushi on.
literally Sushi On. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Got
I'm
it.
stuck between that one and the Greek food, which is right next to Angora Tandoori, which is called Argo, which they make fantastic Greek food. Everything's expensive as fuck, but that's usually how it is here.
Food is
Um,
really pricey here. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I noticed.
it's mhm.
Yeah, restaurants like how like like tipping exists, right? Which is
Mhm.
fine. But sometimes you just don't want to tip
You don't
as a
want to.
consumer. Yeah.
Correct. The
Um.
service wasn't
And
great.
I
Why
found.
would you?
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Some self-serve restaurants. Yeah. Have you heard of Big Way Hot Pot?
No.
No. It's like so popular with like Asian people. If you go there, it's like the one at Metrotown. It's actually not like considered hot pot. I believe like the actual term for like what that type of food is called is like malatam, which is like you just put in like noodles and like all these different like toppings to build like a noodle bowl dish, and they will
Sure.
like have broth and cook it for you, and you just eat it like that. Um, yeah, I don't know how. Maybe I didn't describe that well.
No, no, I've never had it, but it sounds interesting. I'm
Okay.
curious. I'm always
Yeah,
down to test new foods. No problem.
yeah. It's how they charge you is that like it's different from like a restaurant where they have a set price. It's like depending on how much weight you get. So like they have like a row of toppings on the wall, and you just get to like pick things.
Sure.
And like for every like 100 grams, it's like $4 or whatever.
Hmm.
So like if you like eat very little, it could be sorry advantageous to you, and you just like not get as much. But if you eat a lot, like I see my friend, he got so much food, it was so expensive. I was like, at that point, is it even worth it to be spending this much? He spent like $60 on like one bowl of like noodles and like toppings. I was like, that's crazy.
Is it like a
Yeah.
similar model to Mongolian Grill where you can stack up everything and smash it
Oh,
down and then
yeah,
it's all
yeah,
20
maybe.
bucks?
That sounds familiar.
Have
Yeah.
you had Mongolian Grill or you haven't tried it?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay. Damn, then you would know.
Yeah.
Another place I recommend. Good food. Yeah, if you know how to make it good with the sauces and stuff, it could be good. I'm not a cook. So it doesn't make sense to me. I let the lady tell me what tastes best because I need flavor. She's fantastic at cooking, and I'm like, please bless my food because I have no idea what goes well with what. But recommend
You,
it. Go ahead.
okay. Have you tried the taco place on Boundary called Border Burritos or something?
Boundary. Border
Uh,
burritos. No.
Border Burrito. Yeah, they have really good tacos there. I always get their like quesadilla, like taco or whatever.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if you like Mexican food a lot.
Yeah, 100%. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of people
But the
confuse me
reason
for
I
me.
also know of the
Go
sorry,
ahead.
uh, the Charlie Chocolate Factory is because like I
Yeah.
also get like I used to get my hair cut there, like in that
At
area.
Charlie's Chocolate? Oh, okay.
Like no.
Okay.
Like behind it, I believe it's called like Blur Barbers or whatever. That's how I
Sure.
knew that area. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it makes sense to you. That's fair. Brother, I just realized, holy crap, they just texted me a client coming in 3 minutes, so I'm going to cut it a little bit short, but
Oh,
um,
there.
thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you for your business, for your service,
Yeah.
for coming over and still trusting me with your PC, because again, a lot of people still think, whether you have reviews or not, they're like, how does that work? And then you prove
Yeah.
to them that you got nothing to worry about, and that's my goal, right? One person at a time. And hopefully it does a little ripple effect. Um, Definitely one of the most engaging clients, fun, which is rare because most people are like, just fix my computer and then whatever. So that's cool. I appreciate that. And yeah, feel free to send this to people if interested. If not, no problem. It's just for fun, as I told you.
Yeah.
Go
Maybe
from
do
there.
you want me to say some final remarks? Maybe.
Sure, yes, please, of course.
Yeah. So not an ad, but yeah, Alex. He's like a really great person. He's pretty like he's very trustworthy, and like from what I talked to him, he's like very genuine, like down to earth. So I feel very happy that I was able to meet someone that I feel like I could really trust, and I also personally get along with. So I do think, you know, he'd be a great option, Tech and a Tux, for anyone looking to fix their computers in Vancouver. And not only that, I feel like you're just a great person to meet and to know. And I just overall enjoy talking to you, even though I know this session you were mostly asking me and I was talking about myself. I would have loved to, get to
No,
know more
either.
about you as well.
No problem.
Yeah,
We did it in person. We didn't record that portion of it, so you're good. You're
true.
pretty much caught up.
Yeah, I guess so.
Appreciate it, brother. Much love. Thank you for that. And yeah, we'll keep in touch. And
Yeah.
if we have any games that correlate, I'm down to play some games. I'm a gamer
Yeah, for
myself,
sure.
so it'd be cool.
Okay,
Sounds good.
sounds good.
Take care,
Yeah.
my friend. Till next time.
Yeah,
See you
bye,
later.
Alex.
Bye bye.